Ahoj všichni, já jsem Rožík a vítám vás opět u dalšího videa ze hry The Hunter Call of the Wild. Je to po dlouhé době, co jdu tuto hru opět hrát. Nějakým záhadným způsobem mě to teďkom přestalo bavit, stejně jako Farming Simulator, taky The Hunter je teďkom tak jako povzdálí a moc se mi natáčet nechce, ale čas od času přijde chvíle, kdy si to chci zahrát, takže teďkom budeme opět plnit mise. Protože je to ta jediná věc, co se mi tu teď chce dělat. Nechce se mi lovit diamantový tygr. Ano, stále jsem ho neulovil a nechci se mi ani dělat nějaké výzvy, protože se mi nechce žádná vymýšlet. I když jednu vymyšlenou mám, ale do té se mi vůbec nechce. Takže se jdeme pustit do misí na mapě Quattro Colinas. Snad tu mám zapnuté všechno, co k misím potřebuju. Dialogy by měly být zapnuté, titulky jsou zapnuté, snad to bude všechno v pohodě. Ať se na to dá koukat. Jsem tu na ty mise dost zvědavý, jestli to bude nějakým způsobem záživné, tady jsem totiž mise taky neplnil. Vůbec žádnou jsem tu v životě nesplnil. Takže uvidíme, jestli to bude vůbec za něco stát, anebo to bude zase úplná bída. Už se pomalu prokousávám v mapě Mississippi. A tam vím, že mě ty mise dost bavily, takže už se nemůžu dočkat, až tam zase budu.
Te doy la bienvenida a Cuatro Colinas, my friend. I hope you like the view.
No, dobré, titulky fungujou. Nebo dialogy. Vyšplháme nahoru a zjistíme, co mi řekne.
Standing here, you are following in the footsteps of Spanish dukes and kings, as well as every generation of my family for the past 3 centuries. You should be able to see Casa Alfonso from there.
Vidím. Tam mám
When
jít.
you have sampled enough of the view, take the walk down to the outpost.
Už můžu jít? Má docela příjemný hlas. Tady mám jít. Tak jo. Zlaté rychlé cestování.
There are some parts of Cuatro Colinas that only a select few know about. I'm taking you to a place where the views are magnificent and the hunting is even better. There, I've sent you the coordinates for the trailhead that leads to this divine setting. Normally I would insist on being there with you while you experience it, but I don't want you to miss it. I encourage you to hunt as much as you'd like. You are undoubtedly keen to become familiar with the rolling hills, steep ascents, and your wily prey. You should search for animal tracks. I know you have experience, but one should utilize every advantage when taking on the cunning beasts of Cuatro Colinas. Of course, if you're lucky, you'll probably hear something just from walking through that part of the reserve. The hunter I knew didn't rely on luck, though. I recall that you used to have wonderful hearing. Is that still true? Or have your years gotten the better of you? I see your tracking skills are as sharp as ever. I'm sure you're going to enjoy your hunts here.
Tak jo. Ona dělá, jak kdybych byl už nějak šíleně starý, že už jsem hluchý, je slepý a blbý. Dobré, v jedné věci se trefila. Haha, hádejte v jaké. Dává mi za úkol i něco ulovit, anebo mám jít jenom na tu vyhlídku? Já ji úplně moc neposlouchám. No dobře, poslouchám, ale nečtu si to, co říká, protože... Chápeš. Chápete, to je jedno. Jo, počkat. Ono to jenom označuje tu trasu, kud mám jít, a ne to, kam mám jít.
You have arrived. Is it not stunning?
Ne.
Recently, I've only come here to meditate. It is so ethereal and serene, even when the rain is falling. When I first invited you to visit, I assumed that I would be coming home to host you as a visitor, spending time here before traveling abroad once again. With my return being prompted by my mother's passing instead, my focus has been entirely on work, instead of enjoying the very places that bring me comfort. I am pleased that I was able to show you this. In a way, I got to experience it vicariously. Of course, it's also one of our best spots to go hunting. I've never gone on a hunt out there and returned home empty-handed. If you are able to pull yourself away from the tranquil beauty of the cove, there are many other wonderful sights for you to see. Senor Baden, our company for last night, appears to be enjoying his time here as well. He's a unique fellow, but quite charming in his own way. When I mentioned that I had hired you as a professional hunter, he seemed a little bothered. He then proceeded to inform me of some hunting accolades that he has received during his career as a hunter. Until recently, I'd put his candor down to the sangria, but he seems equally enthusiastic in his self-promotion, even with a clear head. Apparently, he has harvested a pair of ibex already. I think someone is trying to market themselves as a worthy competitor. I think it's time for you to remind me what you can do. I'd like for you to harvest an animal. Any animal. Once you're done, let me know, and I'll inform Senor Baden that he has a little competition. When I first returned to help run the reserve after my time away, these were the places I wanted to be. Places that reminded me of my mother. Just a short way down the cove, there is another splendid view. I recommend it.
Tak co mám udělat? Ulov libovolné zvíře. Jdem najít jelena. Ahoj. Nemám tušení, co jsem měl za nástřel. Ale to nevadí. Chtěl jsem sice jelena, ale tak jako, když tu byl vlk. Tak co, trefil jsem ho dobře. První špatně, druhá dobře. To jsem rád. Gold. Jo. Ještě, že si takhle pěkně lehnul. Nádhera. Máme vlka.
You're going to need to do enough hunting for both of us, it would seem. The administrative part of my role is something I am still getting used to. Sadly, it prevents me from spending any time on the reserve with you, or getting to know my neighbors. Cuatro Colinas is mostly composed of my family's estate, but includes several tracts of public land with public roads. Because I'm overseeing the reserve, I need to work with the local government to ensure that the public roads are kept safe. There is a stretch of road in particular that is extremely dangerous. It has a steep cliff on one side, and drivers need to slow right down or risk a perilous drop. Until recently, we had road signs warning approaching drivers of the danger. I mention this to you because these signs have suddenly disappeared, as if by magic, and I need you to replace them. I know that this would normally be a hunter's job, but I have asked the mayor to take care of it, and he told me that I have to wait a month for him to send a crew. I'd have my handyman Julio deal with it, but the poor old soul is laid up in bed with pneumonia. I was able to go into town and retrieve some replacements. Unfortunately, I was in a rush and had to attend a meeting, so I wasn't able to put them up.
Skončila? Snad jo. Já to splním, ale jenom co si zajdu ulovit tu 7 jelena. Páč, ten se mi docela zamlouvá. Mám tu s tím takový menší problém a to je ten, že ta ženská strašně moc mluví. Má hrozně dlouhé ty dialogy, ale tak jako co se dá dělat. No ty seš krasavec. A dostal krásný hit. Zajdu si pro něho a jdu splnit tu misi. Proč to vypadá, že pluje za mnou? Možná to stíhám. Zůstaň kde jsi. Dobré, dosáhnu na něho. Gold, krásně obě dvě plíce. Jsem rád ale, že tady můžu klidu lovit. Že mi to přímo i v misích říká, že můžu jako lovit, takže je to fajn. A teďkom, kam mám jít? Tady. Kajdaloupku mám tady, což je fajn. Zajímalo by mě, v čem je tato cesta nebezpečná. Mně přijde dost v pohodě. To je v klidu cesta. To snad všichni musí vidět, když jedou ze zhora, že tu je prostě propast.
Once you've retrieved the signs, there are poles about 30 meters from the bend in either direction. Attach the signs to the poles.
Tak jo. Nevím, co řekla, ale mám je dát 30 metrů od sebe.
This isn't even the first time this has happened. I've heard of drunk people stealing traffic cones, but this must be something else.
A proč tam dávám značku, co varuje před padajícím kamením? To nechápu.
For now, though, we have something else to take care of. My neighbor Manuel is a goat herd who has been raising goats here for 25 years, and one of his goats has gone missing. Apparently, it is his favorite, Paloma.
Oblíbená koza, tak jo.
This might seem like a small concern, but he has assisted my family on many occasions. I want to repay his kindness. Manuel has told me of an isolated tree that Paloma uses to hide from the rain. Perhaps that's a good place to start your search. It stands on its own, so it should be easy to find.
A když ten chlapek dělal laskavosti vaší rodině, proč mám pomáhat já? To nechápu. No tak fuk.
You're getting close to the tree that Manuel mentioned. Can you see any sign of Paloma?
Ne, ale vidím srnce. A slyším kozu.
I will be sure to take a trip to visit Manuel this evening, so I can inform him in person. I will take some flowers.
Chudá koza.
It appears that she was killed and then abandoned. Surprising behavior for a predator. Are there any clues as to what did this?
Chupacabra? Můj pes? Kdo ví?
These prints were left by a wolf, but this is strange behavior.
Úplně normální.
The wolves tend not to take prey from this part of the reserve, but maybe one got desperate. We ought to investigate this further and track down the creature that did this. It's essential that even if we don't catch it, we ensure that it hasn't lingered in the area, putting the other ghosts at risk. It does appear that the tracks are leading away from the pasture, though. With any luck, the wolf won't come back.
A toho vlka můžu ulovit, anebo ho mám jenom zahnat? Není řečeno, jestli je to samec nebo samice, to se mi docela zamlouvá, protože to může značit to, že to je nějaká vzácnější barva, nebo vzácnější hodnocení, nebo něco takového.
Disappearing road signs, wolves that kill but don't eat? These are not the sort of events I expected out here. At least, they never used to be. Since taking over responsibility for the reserve from my father while he gets better, I have started to realize just how much effort goes into maintaining Cuatro Colinas.
Ale já toho vlka chci ulovit.
are quite determined to have a meeting with my father, but he is in no position to negotiate a deal at the moment.
No, to je
I find
trapné.
myself too busy with the small tasks of running the reserve, making it impossible to deal with anything else. I had planned to take him to visit my mother's memorial today. A close family friend, Padre Abbas, has made a wreath and offered to go in our stead. I wonder if he got a chance to visit. He's a busy man too. He spends most of his free time exploring the reserve when he isn't stopping by to visit us at the castillo. I don't know if he will get an opportunity to visit the memorial today, and I know that I won't get a chance for at least a week. She deserves better. I should be up there now instead of meeting with lawyers and accountants. I know that bureaucracy is necessary to run a game reserve, but it all seems trivial when compared to taking care of my family. Even though she's gone, I still feel a sense of duty. I apologize. You don't need to hear this. I should get back to work.
No to bys měla rychle cestovat. A jdeme zjistit, co mi označila, protože jsem zase nedával pozor. Jak jinak? Splním ještě pár misí, ale nebudu to dneska dělat tak dlouhé, jak to vždycky dělám. Protože bych byl rád, kdyby druhé video z plnění misí z této mapy bylo podobně dlouhé, ať tam nesplním jenom 3 mise a skončí to. Takže to tu nebudu táhnout strašně dlouho, abych jich splnil co nejvíc, ale prostě dokud mě to bude bavit, tak to budu plnit. A potom se posunu někam dál. Možná na nějaké další video, nebo půjdu stříhat další videa. No to je jedno. To je nepodstatná informace, ale nechci, aby z toho vzniklo dlouhý díl a z dalšího plnění misí zase krátký díl, ať je to tak nějak jako vyrovnané, to by bylo fajn. Tak, dobré, já utíkám tam 300 metrů, 400, sakra. Aha, vyfotit to mám.
You're at the memorial. You did not have to travel up there on my behalf, but I am very grateful for the picture. Padre made the trip after all, it seems. His wreaths are so beautiful, don't you think?
Ne, slyším
He makes
vlky.
them from wild flowers that he finds on his travels. My mother used to make them too.
Já nevím odkud. Jich bylo víc. To jako všichni vzali nohy na ramena. To stačilo jednoho fakt jako trefit do hlavy a konec? Tak jo. Já jsem použil špatnou zbraň? Řeknu hned, ne? Sakra. Já jsem si říkal, proč umřela tak rychle. No, tak tady to bude silver. Proto utekli. No nic, co se dá dělat. Vyčistit, krása.
She always tried to get the most out of every day. She never seemed to rest. It's a shame that you never met her. I think you two would have got on well. She loved walking those trails as much as anyone else I've ever met. My father used to joke that she only married him so she could spend her weekends in the woods. Since we lost her, I've been trying to keep it together here, but I honestly don't know if I'm doing enough. I thought that revitalizing the outpost would help, but we need more. Padre Abbas has been very kind to me, and I know that he trusts me to do what's right. His counsel has been invaluable. I want to thank him for his support. He's putting a book together, and I think we can help him with his work.
Ne, nebudu nic fotit.
I have told him how to get in touch with you. I take it as a personal favor if you helped him out. He doesn't ask for anything from me, but I want to pay him back. However, Padre Abbas is far from the only person who could use some assistance. The reserve's resident vet has some concerns following your discovery of the dead goat and the wolf tracks. If a wolf strays out of his usual territory and kills a goat but does not feed, it can be an indicator of rabies. It's a worst-case scenario. but we should consider it just in case.
Můžu jí toho vlka ulovit,
There
prosím.
are other potential reasons for this behavior. The thing is, this isn't the first time this has happened. It's not public knowledge, but I feel that now is the time to tell you. My mother's passing was... She was killed in a wolf attack.
Smutné.
My father spent days afterwards trying to hunt down the wolf that did it, but ultimately there is no way of knowing. He returned home and hasn't hunted since. I won't let it happen again. We need to establish if this is an isolated case or if there's a wider problem that we must tackle. First things first, we need a sample from a wolf in its home range. If it turns out to have signs of rabies, we know that we have a problem. If not, then we can adjust our strategy and explore any alternative possibilities. You can still harvest it, but we need the brain, so that we can run some tests.
Mám ulovit vlka. Tak jo. To bude obtížné, ale zvládnu to. A splním možná tu misi a pak už to ukončím, což by bylo fajn. Páč už natáčím docela dlouho, takže by to vycházelo tak, aby ten díl nebyl nějak šíleně dlouhý po sestříhání. Nejspíš. Asi to tak udělám. Proč se to otvírá ven? Mě to vždycky odšťouchne. Tak a jdeme tam. Vypadá to, že vlci tu jsou. Ale strašně daleko. Musím se dostat trochu blíž. 6, 3, 4. 6 by měla stačit. Správná zbraň, mám ho. Prchá na místě. Taky prchá na místě. Ale mám 2 vlky, takže může vybírat. Ty budeš ta samice, ty budeš samec. Jo, jenom silver?
Nicely done. Our vet is offering to work out of hours, so I am hoping to have answers soon. I'll let you know if the tests indicate rabies. If it turns out to be the case, I hope we've caught it early. Please exercise extra caution and let me know if you find anything out of the ordinary. I am having the strangest day. I just received a call from Sole Santiago, one of my neighbors. She is an olive farmer who has become a de facto representative for most of the people working the land here. She told me that one of our farmers has had his barn broken into, which is strange enough for a barn in the middle of nowhere. What makes it truly bizarre is that this farmer's tractor has had the tires slashed. Apparently, there are footprints that lead from the barn. I know that you weren't planning on chasing any people during your time here, but if you could put your tracking prowess to use, I'd appreciate it. Santiago told me that the farmer who owns the tractor was opening up this morning when he spotted that the lock on the barn was broken. Sometimes neighbors get a little petty and do stupid things, but Armando is such a sweet man. He wakes up early, tends to his crops, and goes home. I can't imagine anybody wanting to do this to him. He seems pretty surprised about it all too.
Tak jo, tak tady toto ještě není součást žádné mise. Ale později bude. Ale teď už to dál nebudu řešit. V příštím díle se pustím do prozkoumávání toho, kdo tomu týpkovi proříznul pneumatiky u traktoru. A možná i zjistím, čemu jsou ty sudy, co tady lijou nějaký odpad do jezera. Ale pro dnešní díl to bude všechno. Takže jestli se vám video líbilo, klidně můžete dát like, nebudu se zlobit za odběr a vidíme se u nějakého dalšího videa. Mějte se fajn.